is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nerdgasm. This is the final match of round 2. We have Jay Burnz going up against Cain McMillan. We do have to do a little bit of briefing, a little bit of the house service here. So Jay was supposed to be going up against Tim Smith, but life found a way. Things happened. That match got scrapped. We did a little menage a trois between Cain, Caleb Coho, and Eli McKeg. They did a little play-in, and then Cain is actually won that triple threat. So he is now playing Jay in the final match of round 2. Before we go to competitors, I have to go to my co-commissioner, that son of a bitch, Cody Newberry. How do you feel about Jay versus Cain?
Jay versus Cain I'm really torn. Jay, I think, is the most underrated debater in these leagues because he doesn't do conventional debate. He does try to kind of almost test himself. And Cain is my tag team partner, became one of my true best friends in this league. We've been to Chicago together. We've lost matches together. We've won matches together. So there's a lot of stuff that I have. So I'm undecided. I'm okay with either one that wins. Cain, if Cain loses, he'll probably be excited because then he can go edit stuff and doesn't have to prep any more fights. But if he wins, he's closer to a championship, which I know that he wants a championship at one point. And Jay really wants a title. So it's going to be really interesting.
All right. Well, yeah. And also the third judge today, our third amigo in the Three Amigos. I run 1,000 miles again himself, Caleb Coho. How do you feel about Jay versus Cain?
It's going to be great. One question goes a different way. It's me playing Jay tonight, but Cain is a really underrated debater, and I'm really excited to see Cain play. And also, Jay came up a step back to reality and beat Dominic Rizzi, so the dude is kind of legendary in Nerdgasm terms. So these two playing is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
Hey, Caleb. Aquaman or Man of Steel? Oh, never mind. Back to Brooklyn.
Fuck you.
Jay Burnz, you are going up against Cain McMillan in what we would call like a mulligan. But how do you feel going up against Cain?
I feel like I lost to Ken Knopstock in general movie trivia, so I feel like a dumb bitch right now. No, I don't have a problem playing Cain. Yeah, a mulligan is what it is. It just means that I have to take extra steps. So if and when I win the Nerdgasm Championship, it'll feel that much better. Cain, I like the guy. I heard he's super swole. I heard y'all had a good time in fucking Chicago. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. If I lose, I'm calling shenanigans because all three of you are fucking best friends. No, I'm kidding. I'm just here to have a good time. I don't prep. Though I do want to point one thing out because I've said it a lot behind the scenes, but I haven't really said it on stream. That snap back to reality pitch beat what legitimately became Avengers Endgame. He called it Endgame. He said everything that was going to happen in that movie, and he still fucking lost. So there's that. Yeah, I'm just ready to have some fun. I've got prep coming out my eyes. Let's do this. Cain, good luck to you, buddy.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, sir, and your opponent. The winner of the three-way, one Cain McMillan. Cain, have you been prepping your music-related pitch question defense going up against Jay today?
You see, if I win this game, I'm calling shenanigans on all three of y'all because I don't want to win. I don't belong here. I don't like arguing with people unless their name is Caleb Coho, and I have to go against Jay Burnz, and that makes no sense. I'm mad. Why am I here? I should have lost.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Each question is going to have a minute opening followed by a 5-minute freeform and then a 4.5-second closing. It is a first to three. There are 3 preps and 2 speed rounds. But let's get right into it. First category up for grabs is Avatar. And the question that was presented to them was, what is the best season of Avatar? Jay, you're going to go first. You got 45 seconds. And time begins. You have a minute. Time begins whenever you start talking.
The best season of Avatar is Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 3. It's called Fire. It is the culmination of everything that is Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph's entire journey. You see Aang become the fully actualized Avatar and do what he is supposed to do after being disgraced for 110 years, being frozen in an iceberg. He finally, during Sozin's Comet, beats Phoenix Lord Ozai and brings balance to the world. Granted, throughout different books, books 1 and 2, you see that growth, but you see this exponential leap of growth going forward. When it comes to this, that's why in book 3 he is the best Avatar.
Right, cool.
Oh, it is the best season. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, Cain, over to you. You got a minute. What is the best season of Avatar?
You muted.
You are muted.
You muted, dog.
Aha, that thing. All right, so yeah, what I was going to say, actually I did say this, was that this is the parallel of what Jay said. This is season 1, book 1. So pretty much this entire season is where we get to meet new people. We get to build this world that we fall in love with. And pretty much everything that leads up into season 3, it starts in season 1. And it's kind of just like that first impression. And without season 1, there would be 2 or 3. If season 1 sucked, it would got canceled and we would never seen season 3. It's so good to like meet the characters of Aang and Zuko and Katara and everyone. And it just, yeah, I just think it's great because it's the first time we get to see him. First impressions mean a lot to me, and I think that was just why. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it short and sweet. All right, guys, we're going to 5-minute freeform. Just doing I'll be doing a 1-minute warning, so whenever I do say that, just continue on. Let's go.
I get a 1-minute extension, right?
No,
I'm kidding. So this is gonna be difficult. So I have to rebut what you said about if season 1 sucked, it would have gotten canceled and we never would have seen anything else. Look at what happened to Korra. Korra had 4 seasons. Season 2 sucked. They didn't get canceled. They got moved over to Nickelodeon's online platform and the seasons continued. So I gotta disagree with you on that one. Season 1 is good. It's just not great. Yeah, it takes too much time. It doesn't set up enough in order for it to get paid off. The main character of season 1 isn't even the Avatar. It's not Sokka. It's Katara. It's Katara's story for book 1. Even though it's Aang trying to learn waterbending. But what you have in season 3 is you have, spoiler, if you haven't seen it, you have Zuko coming over to the good side after fighting his inner turmoil all through season 2 and into the beginning of season 3 to teach Aang firebending, which is one thing that he needed in order to fight his dad. You have people switching sides in order to fight for the good, fight for the correct side, for the right side, for the path that is what is necessary.
Okay, but if that happens in season 2, then why didn't you say season 2 was the best season? I mean, season 3, essentially, you haven't said like why season 3 is great. You said why season 2 is great, which I don't understand.
No, I didn't.
You just said like it all happens in season 2.
No. I said it starts in. I said Zuko's transformation starts in season 2, and it finalizes in season 3.
Okay.
So, like, let's get that straight. But it is the culmination of all of these storylines in season 3, which makes it the best. It's the only show that I've seen that has a final season that actually pays everything off. Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Minus points.
Minus points. Fuck you. It actually pays it off. You see Aang become a fully fledged Avatar. You see Katara become a waterbending master.
I have a question for that. I have a question. So why is it that like in the season finale, Aang didn't like the way he reached his like full Avatar state, as you say, like it involved him getting like pushed on a rock and like activating some scar and some shit. That sounds real stupid. I'm just saying, like, if he's full Avatar, he should be able to be like Captain Marvel, just turn it on like that, and then just go completely crazy.
That happened in season 2.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, nice try though. That happened in season 2. When he meets the lion turtles on Ember Island, and the lion turtle teaches him how to energy bend. It is by far probably the most perfect scene because it's the essence of what an airbender is. An airbender, Bagua, which is the style of martial arts that airbending is based on, is 100% defense. So instead of going on the attack, he relies on his airbending instincts and uses defense and completely neutralizes his target or his enemy without ever actually doing any harm to him by taking his powers away from him. And that's really what you want.
I don't think Cain might not want to talk, but he needs to talk a little bit. So let Cain have the floor.
So, like, Jay, you're saying that defense is essentially something that is better than offense, right?
I didn't say that. If you want to assume that.
No, I just wanted to clarify what you said.
No. I said that's what he uses. In essence, he uses the best portion of his main power set. And
which is defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say it was best. I'm just saying that he uses what is best for him.
And defense is something that is very good in the long run, right? I mean, the best offense is a good defense, essentially.
The best fight is when you don't have to fight.
So like this fight right now. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I still
1 minute left.
Cool. Yeah. So world building is very great. Without this world that we all fell in love with and that M. Night destroyed, yeah.
Keep fighting. Thank you.
Yeah, so like world building, character building. The characters that Jay loves very much, and I know a lot about that. I'm not pulling out my ass. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, buddy.
3 sucks.
Season 3 is better than season 1, dog.
Hey, season 3 sucked so bad they had to do a spin-off show. They were like, "Oh, this is so bad. We got to change the name and everything." So,
them's is fighting words, dog. Them's is fighting words.
So bad. What happened to season 4? If Korra got 4 seasons, why didn't season 3? I don't know.
Because he only needed to learn 3 elements, you dickbag.
I thought there was air, earth, water, and fire. That's 4.
He already knows air at the beginning.
All right. On to the closing arguments. Cain, you are going to go first. You have up to 45 seconds to close your arguments and present them to the judges accordingly.
All right, starts when I speak, right?
Yes.
So while season 1 is something great and shows us like the characters for the first time in the world the first time, season 3 ends mediocre. What show ends in 3 seasons? If he learned everything, maybe I want to see a whole season where he knows everything. And I'm like, yep, he's done it. So I just don't understand that. It makes no sense. This show makes no sense. Avatar is confusing. Korra is better. So much confusion. M. Night is a terrible director.
All right. Jay Burnz, you have up to 40 seconds to close your arguments. The floor is yours whenever you begin talking.
I heard a lot from my opponent about world building and a little bit about storyline, but not anything about what makes season 1 truly good. I've told you what happens. It's the culmination of everybody's storylines, and it's a perfect ending for this version of Avatar before we even get into Korra, which happens 100 years later. This is the perfect, it's the most succinct chapter in the entire series. It is, yeah, it's a perfect ending to the first run of the show. Fair and simple, plain and simple.
All right, cool. Well, that was an argument. I'm going to get my vote right out of the way, and then I will pass it on to the rest of the judges. I think this really comes down to just the knowledge of the source material, and I think Jay displayed that very strongly, taking down any of Cain's jabs, despite the wild haymaker that he threw in the last minute there, freeform. So I'm going to give Jay my point pretty confidently, but I am not the only judge here. I will go to Cody next. Cody, who gets your point and why?
As much as I want to give Cain the vote and just piss Jay off royally, yeah, it is what it is. That haymaker was really strong, but again, he kind of admitted defeat. Jay took the entire talk, but I've always said in debate, there's one. Everybody knows at least one round that they think they're going to lose, and I think Cain for sure knew this was the one he was going to lose, so he didn't want to waste enough time. But Jay did a really good job. I think Cain. If Cain would have swung with that fire earlier and just made complete BS but made it sell, we'd be talking a different story right now, because it was kind of like a savage moment that he dropped at the end. Even if it's not true at all, it made us all believe, because I'm not that familiar with it. I heard something about land turtles, so yeah, Jay gets a point.
Lion turtles, good sir. But on the kill. Koho, your vote did not count, but how did you swing?
Cain gets my point. Not even gonna lie to you. Jay was kind of winning that, and at the very end when Kate threw out that haymaker, Jay never truly defended that. He just kind of laughed it off like it was nothing. And I don't think laughing off anything is a defense. I think it's a sign of weakness. And I think Cain ate on that in his closer all the way to the end. So I think Cain won it for me in the clutch. So I would have gave Cain the point.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you are not. Your vote does not count. It is 1-0 in favor of Mr. Burnz at the moment. We will now go on to question number 2, which is from the category of Disney animated. And your question is as follows: who is the best Disney sidekick? Cain, you will be going first in this one. You have up to a minute for your opening argument. Tell us who you think the best sidekick is.
All right, so when you look at the long plethora of Disney sidekicks, you want someone who essentially will help the hero's journey, whether it's like physically or mentally, or just being a good friend. Essentially, someone who will always have your back, and something that essentially is just someone who elevates the hero's performance, but also can be a standout, especially if we're talking the best Disney sidekick. And for me, I picked the one who you ain't never had a friend like, and that's Genie. Genie is such a fantastic sidekick. He's arguably the most powerful sidekick out of all of Disney's sidekicks. And he's hilarious. Robin Williams is fantastic as the Genie. And there are so many great things about the Genie as a character that I'll get more into when we get 5 minutes to talk.
All right, cool. On to Mr. Burnz. Who do you feel is the best Disney sidekick?
Cain brought it up. The best sidekick is somebody that you want by your side, who's down no matter what, who will always be there to back you up, who won't abandon you to fuck off to wherever they're going. And unfortunately, it's not the Genie. The Genie is not the best sidekick because he wants to fuck off. You can see it at the end of Aladdin. The best sidekick is Olaf from Frozen. He is ride or die, legitimately ride or die. This man, this snowman, if you would, literally is trying to sidekick himself. He's trying to help everything go forward while melting, and that's what you should look for in a sidekick. Somebody who is willing to put their life on the line, not only to help you out, but make your life better.
All right. Excellent opening arguments, gentlemen. We are now on to the 5-minute freeform. Let's get it on.
All right, so I'm going to start off here with a couple of rebuttals. So the first thing is Olaf is a sidekick technically to Elsa because Elsa therefore created Olaf. And if you look on Disney's website, Olaf is considered as Elsa's companion and not Anna's companion. And Olaf spends no time with with Elsa throughout the entire film, except for the time where she gives them a little flurry. So how can he be a sidekick to a character that he's never with? If you want to talk about the scene where he was,
you're going for specifics here according to a Disney website. I'm going off of the movie. It doesn't matter. What I see in the movie creates a better sidekick than anything, even if he's a companion. That doesn't matter at the exact same point in time, because he's there. Is he not there though? Does he not help? Does he not do his? Does he not help? Is he there? Is he there?
How does he help Elsa?
Is he there?
How does he help Elsa?
He doesn't. It doesn't matter. He helps a main character. You don't have to help the person who created you. That's just it. That's not
specifies to make an official Disney princess has to have a companion. Olaf is considered Elsa's companion, therefore making it where Anna cannot be an official Disney princess. Therefore,
it doesn't matter.
It does matter when
that doesn't matter. You're arguing semantics at this point.
And I'm arguing the fact that it doesn't help.
You're arguing semantics at this point, and that's just it. No, what you're doing is you're nitpicking because he is there and he does help.
I'm gonna jump in. Jay, you are filibustering a little bit. You gotta let Cain talk a little bit.
Okay, and another thing is, if you want to talk about what does he do to help, when Anna is there literally dying, he's like, I'm just going to chill here. I don't want to be there by you. But when Aladdin is drowning, Genie literally saves Aladdin's life.
Genie literally saves Aladdin's life, but doesn't charge him a wish. So does that not make the rules of his wishes a little wonky? Like,
he doesn't charge him a wish at the beginning, gives him a free wish to save his life to get out of the Cave of Wonders, then saves his life.
And then fucks off at the end of the movie, right?
You don't know what he did. We saw the end of the movie.
He fucks off at the end of the movie. He packs his bags and he's out.
Back for the 2 sequels.
It doesn't matter. Both of those sequels are direct to DVD.
How does it not matter?
Both of those sequels are direct to DVD, and I would argue that he's more of a main character than he is a sidekick
He's
or a companion.
Aladdin's sidekick. How is he?
He's a main character because without him, Aladdin wouldn't be Prince Ali Ababwa.
And then the whole movie is irrelevant. He makes the movie relevant.
I mean, you're not wrong. The movie is irrelevant.
The movie's fantastic. It's the best Disney animated movie of all time.
Ooh, I got to go with Lion King on that one.
Ooh, you're trying to get Cody's votes.
Yes and no. I actually think that Lion King is better than Aladdin, though. I also think that Aladdin 3 is better than Aladdin 1, so suck it.
Oh, so now you want to acknowledge the films where Genie comes back. Cool, thank you.
Hey, I didn't say that they weren't. I said they were irrelevant. That doesn't mean that one direct-to-video movie can't be better than the theatrically released version of it.
Back.
I'm just
Can
saying.
we get back
Starship
Yes,
Troopers?
yeah. Can we get back on topic, please?
Yeah.
No.
What's the time?
We're 3 minutes in.
Okay. So I just want to know, like, tell me one thing that Olaf does throughout the film that is useful.
Comic relief.
That's not a useful thing. How is that useful? If I want
Yes,
comic relief, I'll go to Timon and Pumbaa, who are actually relevant to the story.
They're not relevant to the story until Lion King 1.5.
No, they are very relevant. Have you ever seen Timon dance in like a hula scoot skirt?
Hula scoot?
Yeah, I can't talk.
Hula scoot?
I'm bad with words, but he's
I really
relevant.
don't want to argue
Distracted
this.
Scar. Your characters are relevant. He's dumb. He does nothing for the story, and he just does nothing. He's
okay, at the exact same point in time, the genie's nothing but outdated fucking impressions.
By the king of the impressions, if you want to talk about impressions. And it also was made in the 90s, where impressions were fine back then. It was Robin Williams in his peak of his career. If you want to talk about 2019, I mean, I can almost argue the fact that Olaf is just annoying. He's Josh Gad. If I want to see Josh Gad do Josh Gad things, I'll go watch the
1 minute left
in the Beast.
Go watch The Rocker.
Okay, so another better movie apparently with
Olaf is a better companion because he's there. He's not there because he's compelled to be there. He's not there because he's held and confined by wishes or a master-slave relationship, which is ultimately what the Genie-Aladdin relationship is, even though it does grow into something beyond that. Let's not play. He is held by the confines of his oath there. Olaf, not necessarily. Olaf could fuck off if he wanted. He might die. He might not. Genie would still be there, but the only reason Genie's even there is because somebody rubbed the lamp. He's only there until those 3 wishes are used, and then he fucks off back to the lamp. But at the end of Aladdin, he fucks off at the end of the movie, and that doesn't make a good sidekick. Just because he helps him out and then he fucks off doesn't make him a good sidekick. I'm just saying.
What's the time, Brooklyn?
4.
Okay.
3. All right. Wow, that's the first Nerdgasm rundown, I guess, of just running up to 10 seconds. But on to the closing arguments we go. Mr. Burnz, you are first, up to 45 seconds to reconfirm why Olaf is the best Disney sidekick.
Olaf puts his own self in harm's way to help the main characters. He's there to bring a little light and levity. He doesn't just dick around because he's held to the confines of an oath. If it was Jafar who rubbed the lamp, as we saw, it wouldn't matter. So Genie is basically just a mercenary sidekick. He'll be the sidekick for whoever, whereas Olaf is literally just down to help these two out. I don't know what you want me to say. You want me to say that outdated, funny impersonations are what makes a good sidekick? That's not necessarily true. But I mean, at least Olaf is there through the end, regardless. At the end of Aladdin, Genie fucks off. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
All right. On to Kate. Please reconfirm to the judges why you feel Genie is the best Disney sidekick.
Genie is clearly the best sidekick based on the fact, not even just because of the wishes, the fact that it saves his life, but also the fact when Aladdin was trying to get together with Jasmine, Genie was right there by his side the entire film. It shows that he didn't have to help Aladdin with Jasmine at all, but he wanted to do it because he felt like he'd become friends with him. He legitimately cared about Aladdin when Aladdin was drowning, that he was like, you gotta help me kind of thing. At that point, he was set free, so you can say all you want about the lamp. He was literally set free, coming back in the sequels, so that makes no sense. Olaf literally does nothing throughout the entire film. If I want a funny sidekick, I can get plenty other ones. If I want a relevant sidekick, I can get a sidekick that doesn't even talk, like Pascal, who literally kills the villain. Your sidekick is so irrelevant, does nothing for the film, and actually I think makes the film worse.
All right. We're going to go on to the judges here. Caleb, your vote did not count last time. We're going to go first. Who gets what more?
I'll be honest, I think Cain brutally knocked out Jay in this round. I think Jay kind of held on to one thing about, he doesn't have to be there, and kept throwing the impressions gag. And I think Jay shot himself in the foot by saying that the sequels are irrelevant and then using the sequels later as a point to try and fight back. So he kind of wrapped himself up in his own argument, whereas Cain just kept hammering all the different points. So Cain gets my point.
I think this one is a little bit closer than a knockout. I understood what Jay was trying to go for. I was looking for a little more substance though from it. There were some points that I was missing. There were some holes in the argument that I saw that I needed to hear more. But Cain gets the point for me just because how he was able to get some good offense in against Jay. But Cody, your vote did not count. How would you have swayed?
Taking all Lion King things out of the equation. That was really rude. You guys should never bring up the best movie of all time. But the thing was, last argument was Cain's to lose. This was Jay's to lose. Jay brought it on at the end. If he would have brought the same fire near the end that he did throughout it, it could have been. But he kind of just kept hurting his argument, which I don't. He literally kind of said almost during it, was like, I don't care about this one because, he won his first one. Now it's even. So, yeah, Cain did a really good job of tackling.
All right, tied up one apiece as we go into question number 3. My favorite category ever, not at all, not even fucking close. It is one Star Wars. And the question that we have, the question that we gave the competitors is, who is the best user of a lightsaber? And Jay, you are going to be going first on this one. You have up to a minute to convince us of your choice.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The best user of a lightsaber.
Best user of a lightsaber. Okay. The best user of a lightsaber is Anakin Skywalker. He used Form 5, also known as Gem Show or Shien, the Way of the Krayt Dragon, or the Perseverance form. Form 5 is based on power attacks and defense, followed by quick counter attacks. Form 5 was created by practitioners of Form 3 who didn't see the benefit of prolonged saber duels. To use Form 5, you needed a high level of physical strength. It uses aggression to quickly and ruthlessly end duels, and is the only multi-named form to help combat and defend against both blaster fire and saber fights. Anakin Skywalker is the... Anakin Skywalker has had the most duels, has lost more lightsabers than anybody else, but has lost less duels than most Jedi and Sith combined. Anakin Skywalker is the best user of a lightsaber in the world.
All right. Interesting opening argument. We now go over to Cain. You have 2 minutes to tell us why your choice is the best user of a lightsaber.
So I'm not going to argue semantics because apparently that was frowned upon in the last question. So I'm going to throw everything out that he just said because I have no clue what he said. It was a bunch of mumbo jumbo, class 5, class this. Well, I'm going to talk about the movies. In the movies, Obi-Wan Kenobi is arguably one of the most iconic lightsabers. He's been in, when he's in these big fights, he usually wins. We've seen him from the very first film to the episode 6, I believe. Episode 3, my bad. 6th film in the series, and pretty much I don't understand the whole semantics things, but I'll get that back in 5 minutes. Obi-Wan is someone who, throughout the films, have showed why he's one of the most dominant lightsaber users in the entire galaxy, and that is just my opinion.
All right, so let me move on to the 5 minutes of freeform. Let's get it up.
You talk first, I talk first.
I'm waiting for General Hugs.
Okay. I'm glad we got the reference. Cool. All right, now we can actually get in the debate. So yeah, in my personal opinion, Obi-Wan is just the best. He literally defeated Anakin on Mustafar. So to say that he's a better user, he also defeated Darth Maul in Episode 1, and he's just one of 2 Jedis to ever survive the events of Episode 3. which kind of makes him really good at his lightsaber. He also taught
Not
Anakin
really.
Skywalker, so I just don't understand on how Anakin is better when he also took an L.
In the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi says Anakin's a better lightsaber duelist than he is. The Clone Wars movie, not the TV show.
And I also said that Caleb Coho is a better Fandom player than I. Sometimes
if we really want to go there with it, it doesn't matter. Who do you see fight more? You see
more. It doesn't make. I see Hunter Ray Chambliss every week on Full Metal Classic. Does not mean he is a better player because he fights more.
He's getting better.
He's getting better. Guess what?
Don't do that to Hunter.
There
right
is
now.
always people better out there, and just because you play more.
Also, Darth Vader. Also, Anakin Skywalker beat Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just saying.
Yes, and you know what? When he defeated him and killed Obi-Wan, that was more of a way to teach Luke, because he could teach Luke more in death than he could in life.
Not necessarily true. I see where you're going with that. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's correct. But at the exact same point in time, half of my opening still stands. Half of it can be just thrown in the fucking garbage. Anakin Skywalker. Okay, so you want to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi killed a Sith. So did fucking Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker took on Count Dooku and fucking.
Who's better, Darth Maul with the little with the double lightsabers, or Count Dooku, who's played by a really old guy?
Go ahead and strike this from the match if you need to, but in everything else, Darth Tyrannus is a better fighter than Darth Maul. It's been proven multiple times. Go ahead and take it out. It's all pure hearsay at this point in time, but Darth Maul has been beaten multiple times by not only Asajj Ventress, but also Darth Tyrannus. So let's not go there. Darth Tyrannus was trained by Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious also ended up training Anakin Skywalker. Darth Sidious doesn't train no bitches.
Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
who also said that Anakin Skywalker was a better lightsaber duelist than him, and possibly the best lightsaber duelist and fighter pilot in the galaxy.
Why did
you asked the question? I gave you.
It was him in his prime. It was him in his prime, and he lost. It makes no sense. At least when Obi-Wan lost.
Are you going to tell me that? Are you going to tell me that nobody takes an L at least at one point in their life?
Have you ever seen primetime Paul Oyama lose in a standard movie fight? Because I sure haven't.
What's that got to do with this?
I'm just saying, like, when you're the best.
I've seen the first person pulled up from the fan leagues take a couple of L's. So like,
but we never said the best, right?
But what's that got to do with anything? That's just it. People take L's, but he still comes back. He still fucking kills him.
But he would have died if it wasn't for the Emperor fixing him and turning him into Vader. If he would have straight up died on Mustafar, it wasn't like a little L. It was straight up like, you are about to die.
It was an L, I'll give you that, but he still comes back and he still gets his fucking revenge. So at the end of the day,
when he got his revenge, Obi-Wan just straight up let him die. He didn't fight back. He was like, I'm going to take this loss. I've lived my life, and Luke will learn more from me dying right now than he would later. I don't understand.
That's not necessarily true. You're literally just throwing subjectivity into it. You don't know if that's true or not.
But you haven't told me on how Obi-Wan is not better. You have not told me how Obi-Wan is worse than
I don't need to. I have a quote from Obi-Wan. I have a quote from Obi-Wan Kenobi himself stating that Anakin is the better lightsaber duelist. I don't.
I want to say right now that Hunter Ray Chambliss is a better Fandom player than me. Just because I said the quote does not make it accurate.
All right, fair enough. Fine, you're right. Fuck it. Anakin Skywalker is a better lightsaber duelist than Obi-Wan Kenobi because he finishes his fucking fights. Obi-Wan Kenobi would much rather run away from his fights and act like a little bitch and hide on a planet for 40 fucking years.
But isn't that the whole Jedi thing, to like be defensive, and if you need to run, you can run?
No.
I mean, you just said in your first question on how like defense is not bad.
I didn't say it wasn't bad, but at the exact same point in time, this is a completely different question. So don't try to bring in logic from a different question.
But you can change your arguments from mid-question. If you believe something in question 1, you believe question 3.
That's not necessarily true. Arguments can change. You can grow as a person, even if it's only been 20 minutes.
Yeah, if I say my favorite color is green in the first question and now it's purple, it's kind of weird.
I'd agree with you. Purple's the best color.
Purple's actually pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. That's why Mace Windu, his lightsaber is pretty cool. So, just going to stand here in silence.
Yep.
Cool.
There's 30 fucking seconds left on the table, guys.
Jay, how you doing today?
Please try to fight.
No, I got fucking cut off at the legs because of a misunderstanding. I really don't have any fucking argument against this, so I might as well just not say anything. Like, I don't understand that fucking point. So, you've literally got a quote from me, and you've got fucking video evidence, so...
All right, we're going to go into the closing arguments. Cain is going to go first on this one. You have up to 45 seconds to close on why Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best user of the lightsaber.
Personally, I think Obi-Wan is arguably the best user of a lightsaber, strictly based on the fact that you have to be the best if you want to train people to be the best. Anakin Skywalker is a great lightsaber. I'm not going to argue with the fact that he's not. Another very good user of a lightsaber is Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan has trained both of them. So with that being said, I personally think that Obi-Wan is a very good user of the lightsaber to be able to train arguably the two most powerful users in the entire galaxy throughout the entire saga of Star Wars, in my opinion. So if he's the trainer of both of them, I mean, he has to be pretty good, doesn't he?
All right. Ending a little bit early there. And now move on to Jay. You have up to 29 seconds to reconfirm why Anakin Skywalker is the best user of a lightsaber. Floor is yours when you start talking.
Obi-Wan Kenobi lost to Luke Skywalker. Or, I'm sorry, Obi-Wan Kenobi lost to Anakin Skywalker. Luke Skywalker lost to Anakin Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, even though it's a bitch move, attacked a Jedi temple full of trained Padawans and still ended up being able to slaughter every single one of the younglings. So if you really want to talk about lightsaber prowess, you've got to talk about somebody who can go up against multi-wielding and people multiple opponents wielding lightsabers and still being able to defeat them. Anakin Skywalker did that. Obi-Wan Kenobi never did that. Anakin Skywalker has beaten by far probably one of the better Sith duelists in lightsaber duels in the movies. He beats Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars, and he beats fucking Count Dooku in the Clone Wars as well. Yeah, he took one L, but he still comes out on top.
All right. Good closing arguments, both of you gentlemen. Going to move on to the judges. Cody, will let you go first since you went to the count last time. Who did you vote go to and why?
I think Jay had a closer argument than what he thought, but that's just me. I didn't automatically count it just because there's evidence of it. I think if he would have used actually the Padawan argument a lot sooner, I think that's actually a really good point that so many people had. It's not shown, but how many people have sabers in that room, or how he was able to counterbalance pretty much murdering so many people, decided that Vader chose him out of everybody. There's a lot of things that you could probably choose. Not Vader, Sidious chose him. But I think Cain gets the point just because kind of a little bit of a give up. But again, it is what it is. He kind of was defeated, and I understand there's a mix up on questions. You can't fault him. But I hope the next round maybe changes. So, yeah.
All right. Well, so Cain does get your point. Move on to Caleb. Who gets your point and why?
I agree with Cody. Cain gets my point. I think Cain made a lot of good points about how Obi-Wan has beaten Anakin, and then when Anakin came back, Jay was like, "Oh well, Anakin's beaten Obi-Wan," but Cain had a good defense for that by saying Obi-Wan let Anakin beat him to teach Luke a lesson. So yeah, I think Cain rebutted Jay's arguments pretty well. So I give my point to Cain.
All right, so my vote did not count. I would have also given it to Cain. I think by the time Jay sort of got a grounding on what his argument had to change into, it was just a little bit too late. So unfortunately, he does not get the point. So Cain does have the advantage 2-1 going into speed round, but anything can change. So the category that was drafted was DC live action non-Arrowverse. Your first speed round question is as follows, and once again, if I hear you first, you're going to be going first. What Lantern Corps other than green should get its own series?
Red.
It's a good answer. We'll go blue.
All right. Red versus blue. a show that doesn't exist anymore. I don't think it exists anymore. But yeah, Jay, since you're new first, you're going to go first. You have 40 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
See, the thing about Red Lanterns are that, yes, it is anger, it is rage that fuels them, but they are ultimately characters that you can sympathize with, and that's what you look for in a villain. You want somebody that you can sympathize with. I'm speaking most assuredly of Dexter, the cat who was who watched his owner get killed and then was put in a sack and tossed in a river. If you introduce the Red Lanterns into anything, you have to start with this origin. And when you start with that origin, you will automatically feel sympathetic and you will understand the reason why this is a TV show.
All right.
I may not have understood the question, but that's what you get. Was it a movie or a TV show?
TV show.
TV show. Yeah, Red Lanterns.
All right. So now we're on to Cain. 40 seconds for you. Time begins whenever you start talking.
I think having the capability of having a TV show just around like a Blue Lantern could be very cool, because we can honestly see some Justice League characters show up, and I think that's a very strong, like, cool possibility. That'd be really cool to see in a TV show, because it's kind of a Justice League show, but with like Green Lantern powers, and it could be something really cool and unique. I frankly don't care about seeing a TV show about the Red Lanterns and a cat. If I want to do that, maybe I'll watch Aristocats TV show that might happen on Disney Plus. I'm not interested. I don't know how you can make an entire TV show revolve around a cat. It makes no sense. I literally could have the entire Justice League.
All right, ending early. Jay, you have a 30-second rebuttal. Time begins whenever you sit down.
If I wanted an entire TV show focused around the Justice League and a Green Lantern or a Lantern Corps in general, I would just watch the Justice League. Plain and simple, 100%. I want something that hasn't been done yet, and we have all these superhero TV shows, but we don't really have a show that follows a dead-on villain, and I would much rather see a villain storyline at this point in time than a superhero show that's been done time and time and time again. And I think that I think you will have something original if you do a Red Lantern TV show.
All right. Cain, 30-second rebuttal. Floor is yours.
I don't doubt that your show would be original. It'd be really cool, because you, for some reason, have a cat as your lead character, and that's really confusing. I don't understand it. At least with mine, we can see a live-action incarnation of the Justice League that is good, because the movie we got kind of trash, and we have not gotten a full-on like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman characters in a TV show live action that we can actually enjoy, and we can get a little bit more fun to room with, because we have longer episodes rather than a 2-hour movie.
All right. On to the judges now. This is really interesting. I am going to go with Jay, because I was really he sold me more on his opening. I got a gist of like what sort of characters to bring in, and then Jay had a really good jab to start off as a rebuttal round. It's like, if I want to do this, if I want to watch Justice League, I'll go watch Justice League. But yeah, Jay gets my point. I'll go to Caleb next.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to give my point to Jay. I think Jay had a better idea of what his show was, and he hit Cain pretty hard by saying, if I wanted a Justice League show with a lantern, I'd just go watch Justice League. And Cain didn't really sell me on the idea of the Blue Lanterns, more on the idea of Justice League guest stars. So I would go with Jay.
All right, so Jay does tie things up. Cody, how would your vote have swayed?
I didn't know there were Blue Lanterns. So that's interesting.
Blue, green, yellow, red.
Blue, green, yellow. There's indigo.
This is why DC sucks. There's too many. But that's cool. Jay did a better job. I think Cain did a really good job, like how he convinces me that I'm okay at Fandom. Like he's good at like persuading me, but he just didn't do it enough this time. So like I feel like I'm still going to get knocked out. So sorry, I have to give it.
Where do you think I got the nickname the Black Lantern? Do I have a Black Lantern just sitting in my living room?
I got a Red Lantern tattooed on my neck.
Why?
Because I'm an angry person.
Why do we only hear about the green?
Moving on. All right, gentlemen, your second speed round question. This is the tiebreaker. The winner of this question will move on to the semifinals to take on Robert Parker. Want to hear your answer? If you hear you first, you're going to go first. Please listen carefully. What is the best one-off DreamWorks film?
Oh fuck.
I rode 1,000 miles again.
That's a meme.
One is deciding which one. The other is like, what the hell is a one-off to DreamWorks animated stuff?
I'm gonna go with the Tales of El Dorado.
Tales of El Dorado.
Road El Dorado, but I know what I mean.
Shut up!
I'm tired.
Fuck!
Oh, bro.
That was literally going to be a part of my argument. No, I'm kidding.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
Quit complaining.
I'm bad at work.
You're up till 4 a.m. half the night.
Not when I had to go to work today.
Mega Mind.
Ooh.
All right, Road to El Dorado versus Megamind. Cain, since you answered first, you're going to be going first. You have 40 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
So the something special about the Road to El Dorado was before the whole Shrek thing, before we got into these whole franchise, and we made this like little animated movie that was kind of charming and it was great. We follow these two characters, Miguel and Tulio, and we just get to follow them on their adventure, and it's just this fun adventure movie that happened to be animated. I think it'd be something that'd be very good at live action, but that's not the question. We're talking about what's the best of one film. This film has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I don't need to say any more from the story, and I think that's what makes this movie special. It's something unique, especially from DreamWorks. It doesn't involve stupidity content. It doesn't follow an animals. It follows these two guys on an adventure, and I think that's fun and brings you back to stuff like Indiana Jones and all that kind of movies. I like adventure movies, and this is a perfect example.
Jay Burnz, your turn. 40 seconds. Your opening arguments time begins whenever you start talking.
Megamind is the quintessential Star Wars. Megamind is the quintessential Superman movie flipped on its head. From everything, you have an individual who starts out as the villain, realizes that there's a gaping need in the city for somebody to do some good, and you have the villain of the main villain step up and become that person and realize that being better is the thing that is necessary for Metrocity to grow and expand. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's charming, and you have a great villain in Jonah Hill who thinks that he's this chosen person, and then when he figures out he's not, he becomes this complete asshole, and you have to figure that out.
Okay, McMillan, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Time begins whenever you start talking.
I think the biggest problem with Megamind is if I want a better film that follows the villain's arc turning good, I'd watch something like the Despicable Me franchise. If I want a better animated movie that follows superheroes, I'd rather watch Incredibles. Megamind is not one of those films that I want to watch. I've seen it once, it was okay, and that was about it. Frankly, to me, Road to El Dorado is one of those films, like I said, it has a beginning, a middle, end, and it just ends very well. And I don't need another Road to El Dorado. People might want another Megamind film because we're in this crazy superhero world, so it might not be a standalone because yeah.
All right, Jay, on to you, 30 seconds. This is the last match.
The Road to El Dorado, while being a great story about Miguel and Tulio, also kind of tries to whitewash what happens to people in that what happened to people in that country during the Inquisition, or not the Inquisition, but the invasion of those people. What you have in Megamind is you have this distinct story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, even with a little twist thrown in, but it still works, and it's a better film than the Road to El Dorado.
All right, on to the judges. I will be going to Cody because your vote did not count last time. Who does your vote go to and why?
Man. Regardless how this goes, I know who the loser of this match, regardless who it is going to play in the first matchup after tournament. But by the slightest edge for me, I have to go with Cain, because Cain's rebuttal against Megamind about superhero and villain was super strong, and I didn't see it combat it. I think Jay did a great job of trying to counteract it, but it just didn't hits. So for me, I will have to go with Cain.
I'm gonna go next. This is it's incredibly tough, and you can argue for either side. I'm actually gonna go with Jay. I found with Jay, I had there was a more rounded argument. His opening was good. Kane's wasn't that great. I just heard beginning, middle, end, and there wasn't a whole lot of substance into it. Where Jay sort of gave me why it was good. I think Cain had a good closing, but that opening for me is just it's not good enough to get a point. So it goes on to Caleb. It is on to you. Who gets your point and why?
Jay did a really good job of setting up why Megamind is a cool idea and a good movie in conceptually. And Cain ripped that to shreds with his rebuttal when he said that we've seen it done better in Despicable Me and Incredibles and that it's forgettable in its own genre, whereas Road El Dorado is a nice adventure movie, and that's all he really needed to sell me on. And Jay couldn't counteract that really at all with fighting the adventure movie trope, whereas I think Cain took down Megamind really well. So with that, I'm giving my point to Cain.
Well, that means that your winner, advancing on to the semifinal to play Robert Parker, is one Hurricane Cain McMillan. Coming down to the last question. Oh my goodness. Let's get into some post-match interviews, starting with our winner, Cain McMillan. Oh, sorry.
I will cover those since you made host, so let me do something on the jump because I have something to announce. Just no offense. It's okay. Cain, how are you feeling after your match?
Disappointed.
What?
Disappointed.
Why?
Because I didn't want to win.
Okay, can you seem at least happy? How do you feel about facing Robert Parker?
Scared.
Why?
Because he's a beast.
Okay, fair enough.
Robert is one of the most knowledgeable people, so if I ever try to pull bullshit out of my ass, which is 95% of the time what I'm doing, he's going to call me out it, like Jay did multiple times today.
Fair. So do you think you have any percentage chance of beating Robert in this next match?
If I get some good like round categories, I think I have a shot. I think there are things I know just as well as Robert. There's things that I know better than Robert, but there are things that Robert can crush me in. So it all depends on what categories I get.
That's very fair. And Jay Burnz. We'll go to Jay Burnz. Unfortunate loser for here tonight. You're probably not happy. I think the Star Wars question was the biggest thing. But I will have something after this interview to tell you. I think it will be a very fun idea. But what are you feeling after the match?
So go ahead and cut all this out if necessary. I'm about to say some shit. This is bullshit. This is legitimately a match that shouldn't have happened. It doesn't matter whether somebody gave up or not. Kind of like I gave up in round fucking 2. Tim gave up. He fucking lost. I shouldn't have had to play Cain. I shouldn't have had to play anybody who was a winner of a play-in match. I should have just been granted my fucking pass into that round. That being said, Cain put up a hell of a fucking match. Cain, you really did, but you came through. Yeah, I got a little stymied when it came to that Star Wars question. It hurts. It sucks. I'm fucking irritated by it, but that's not on the judges. It's not on the panel. That's on myself. I kind of figured that I might have hit you with a little bit of a harder counter when it came to our final speed round question than I was given a little bit of credit for. But I can't wait to see how you do against Robert. I really just kind of wanted to fuck with Robert and get under his skin, because I feel like if I can do it to Dom, I can do it to Robert. And if I can do it to fucking Dom and Robert, I can do it to anybody else in the league. But you know, that Genie fucking question it's a bitch to argue against Genie in any fucking fashion. Legitimately, that's a fucking uphill battle. And for half of my argument to be tossed out in question number 3, and trying to find a steady ground and not being able to do it until closing arguments is a little bit difficult. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little pissed off, but I mean, at least I came back, made it a fucking, you know, tie game, and we went into the final speed round question. Good luck to you, bro. I hope that you fuck Robert up. Sorry, Cody.
No, you're good. So we will not cut that out because I'm okay with being transparent and being honest. That was basically my call. I feel like if I, as a debater, if I was gifted one to the other finals, I wouldn't want that. But that's fair. But I do have your next match. It is actually going to be a lot sooner. It will be the next match after the tournament. So basically, the loser of the finals will play the winner of this match for a number one contender shot at the title. It will be Jay Burnz versus Caleb Coho in a match, Nerdgasm style. The winner of that will play the loser of the finals for the number one contender, and you will get a shot closer to the title than you think. So pretty much it's Cain. It will be between Cain, Robert, and
Jay
Tim.
Coho.
So those are the people. So how do you feel about possibly facing? Well, not possibly, but it will be set up. If we can make it work to be released on the same day as the championship, we will try to do an undercard overcard. But how do you feel about taking on Caleb for a number one contender? To be in a number one contenders match against one of those.
So I'm gonna be like 100% real with you guys. I'm dealing with some shit. I got a diagnosis the other day, and it's been fucking with me. So I'm a little scatterbrained at this point in time. I'm trying to focus on like 9 things at once, and it's not working for me. Which is why I've been trying to cut down on everything it is that I'm doing. But I will do my best to try to focus, to try I don't even know where my fucking brain's at right now. Yeah, I can't wait to play Caleb. Fuck this.
Yeah, don't have to if you don't want to. It's still the option, but I wanted to offer you that option. Caleb, you're on call. If Jay is unable to make the match or can't make it, it's not a big deal. We will get Jay another match when he is feeling better, 100%. But Caleb, how do you feel? Because you will be in the running for a number one contender regardless, or it will just be a different opponent if it's not Jay.
I'm honored to be in the position to even be considered for the title at the moment. And I am excited to face whoever you put in front of me. If it's Jay, Jay's great. So I would love to get the chance to actually play Jay in debate, or whoever else it ends up being. Honestly, if it's not Jay, I'd like to whoop on Eli again, because people did get to see that last time, and I want to while on him again in front of people. But I'll play whoever because I want to go for that title.
Fair enough. And back to my co-commissioner. Figured since he had to do all the heavy lifting of doing the main judges, I figured I could just do a post-match interview for him. But how do you feel about how the overall match went, and are you excited for what we have set up coming forward?
Yeah, I am very excited for this coming forward. I didn't see it going this way on paper, but you know that's what happens. I've been in Jay's boots in that third question that happened to me in the championship match with Cody, which we dropping probably before this. Yeah, it happened to me the same thing, and it pretty well cost me a championship match. So. You know, it happens, but you know it's good to see that Jay sort of carried on, and it's the sportsmanship that I like to see, and it's the respect that I like to see between both competitors, and I think we got the best of that today. But that is going to wrap things up today. We are not going to do plugs because we don't want to keep the video an extra 5 minutes longer. So if you want to see where the rest of these guys are, go down to the doobly-doo below. So for our winner Cain, for Cody, for Jay, for Caleb Coho, I am the Black Under Brooklyn Vale. Cheers, guys, and as always, please, for God's sakes, drive safely.
Drive on safe.